Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue. Happy Hump Day. We have some cool stuff to talk about today, not in the world of comic books or comic book movies, but in the world of Star Wars. Yes, I've been talking about it a while in previous videos, how I want to start making videos about Star Wars, and I thought today would be an awesome day because today we have our first inside look at the Star Wars Episode 9 movie from Vanity Fair. And Vanity Fair, they've done this for previous Star Wars movies in the past. They've released some set photos, did a huge piece on their on Episode 9 and kind of a background into it. But mostly that kind of piece, the Vanity Fair article, is kind of just talking about a lot about the history of Star Wars and how special how special it is with the new characters and everything. So gotta be honest, I was reading through it and I was like, man, this is stuff I already know. They started just alluding to characters in the past and how significant this franchise is. So I stopped reading it because I already know how important this franchise is, and I'm aware of a lot of the big beats hanging around. And quite honestly, I like to look at the photos and just not hear anything about the movie. I like to speculate. So with that being said, we're gonna dive into these photos from Star Wars Episode 9 and talk about them. And along the way, I'll go ahead and talk about my thoughts on the Star Wars franchise, as well as the new franchise that a lot of people seem to be really divided on. So let's dig into it. So I'm just looking at the article and I'm going straight down from the first images I see. And the first image we see right here is a behind the scenes look at Rey, and they seem to be in this new scene here, and they are filming in a new location. I forgot how to pronounce the place, but it looks like that when I was reading the article, they were using a combination of the real life practical effects along with a green screen in some areas. So obviously they're going to do a bunch of special effects, but this looks cool. I mean, Daisy Ridley, she's rocking the outfit inspired by Luke's outfit in A New Hope. That's what I mean. That's what it looks like to me. Not that I kind of read into that too much, but definitely harkening back to that nostalgia. And people complain about that a lot. I'm not a big big opponent to that. I'm okay with them harkening back to the nostalgic moments of Star Wars because Star Wars is nostalgic for me. I grew up with it, and a lot of kids are going to grow up with this trilogy, and I'm glad that this trilogy will hopefully make people want to experience the original trilogy and the magic that brought to the world. So looks like a cool image. Let's go down to the Vanity Fair covers, and I forget who. Annie Leibovitz. I hope I'm saying that right, but she is a famous photographer. I'm super into cameras and photos and photography, so I've been seeing a lot of her commercials on my YouTube. Commercials, they're all kind of specialized to what you tend to look at on YouTube. So I'm seeing a lot of her and her masterclass, I think it was. But it looks like these are her actually making the photos for Vanity Fair, and they look incredible. They're beautiful photos. And of course, we got Kylo Ren and Rey. Again, I talked about Rey's costume. She's holding her staff again, which is kind of curious to me because she ditched the staff for all of Episode 8. So I don't think I saw anyone talking about that so far. Not that I've seen a lot of videos on these photos yet. But then we get Kylo Ren, who's kind of in his own outfit. It doesn't look to be changed a lot, though it does look like the hood looks a little different. And I know because I've dressed up as Kylo Ren multiple times on multiple occasions, so it does look a little different, and I'm kind of catching on to that. But I think these are incredible looking covers, very bright and beautiful, and yeah, the Star Wars, it doesn't scream Star Wars to me, but it looks like something different. Yeah, so this is the thing that really got me excited right here, guys. So in The Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams got on board to reboot this franchise after being on a hiatus for so long. He introduced the little seed, the seed of a story that didn't get to grow in Episode 8. So in Episode 7, they, in a little throwaway line by Snoke, Supreme Leader Snoke, he talks about Kylo being the master of the Knights of Ren. And that is something that a lot of fans were so excited to see. We got possibly a glimpse of them in that flashback. Yeah, I'm assuming it was them in the flashback in Episode 7 when Rey had the flashback. Curious enough, that was the first flashback scene in Star Wars, so got us all really pumped to see how significant these Knights of Ren are and what their attachment is to Kylo Ren. And I know we got a little bit of their backstory and some things that they were doing behind the scenes in books, Star Wars books. I've only read a few of them, but they were very forgettable to me. So maybe I gotta reread them. I can't even remember what they're called. But I know we got scenes with the Knights of Ren in the new canon books, but we haven't got too much. And what we really want to see is them inside a live-action movie. With Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, before that came out, there was a lot of rumors that these guys would be popping up on the scene on that island that Luke and Rey were training on. And there was a rumor way before the movie actually came out that the Knights of Ren would storm onto that island and Canto Bight, I believe Canto Bight's the casino place, but forget whatever that island's called. But there was a rumor that these guys were going to hop on the scene. We were going to see Luke and Rey fighting all these guys off, and we're going to see Luke with some incredible Force action. And that never happened. That never materialized. So that was disappointing. Even though I'm one of the people who actually did enjoy Star Wars The Last Jedi, with all of its flaws. I know it did have its flaws. The whole Canto Bight scene, all of Finn's story in there, very disappointing to me. But overall, I did enjoy the movie a lot. And I'll talk a little bit more about Episode 8 as as time goes on. But I'm really glad to see the Knights of Ren guys here. Now, they got some crazy looking, medieval looking armor going on. So you see one here, this guy here on the left got some grenades, has a gun, and this helmet, which I don't know how he's seeing through that helmet. And I have a Kylo Ren helmet. I cannot see through that thing, but it's a pretty cool looking thing. Looks very hot to be in. And looking to the right of him, you see this guy with a Thanos looking sword. It looks like a big chef's knife. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, it doesn't look very practical. And I'm wondering if it's just going to be a sword, because how is he going to fight against some lightsabers with some archaic looking weapon like that? Maybe it lights up, maybe it's some sort of plasma sword thing, but who knows? Then you got J.J. Abrams in there with his, he's probably framing the shot, composing the shot, looking cool. Got this guy in the middle with an axe, and then this guy looking like he has a mace on the very side. I'm really hoping that these guys play a big part, and we're teased actually in the article that these guys would have a more significant role in this movie. Hope it's longer than like a 5-minute clip or something like that, because it would be a pretty cool, badass scene to see Rey, possibly Luke, fight someone different than Kylo Ren with their lightsabers. So I want to see that. Then we got this new character right here, and this is Kerry Russell, character we don't know much about, but curious enough, I don't know really much about Kerry Russell. I think she's in the show The American, but she's a beautiful actress. And she's covered up. That's the big thing. She's covered up with a helmet, very elegant looking. She's a scoundrel. I think she's described as a scoundrel in the article, but she's holding her weapons here. They look very detailed. She looks like a more higher class type of villain, but she has a helmet on. And for me, one of the things about Star Wars is when you see these characters with these cool helmets, I think with the newer trilogies more so, and especially in Hollywood these days, actors want to be seen on screen. They want their face to be shown on screen. And Kerry Russell, she's kind of like a well-known actress, I guess. So I'm assuming she's going to be taking that helmet on and off. I'm hoping they don't. With Star Wars, just like Boba Fett never took off his helmet, I'm hoping this character stays a mysterious character, and we don't get to see her face. I don't want to see it. This is a cool looking suit. Keep that on. Just similar to what happened in Solo. I'm blanking on the name, but kind of the person that they thought were the villain the whole time took off the helmet and was just a little kid. That kind of killed it for me. I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't take off the helmet, and I'm hoping they do that with Kerry Russell's character here. She's kind of a mystery, so we'll see what that brings. And then we have here First Order leaders, General Hux. Obviously, we know General Hux from the first 2 movies, and Allegiant General Pride. And we don't know much about him, But I'm hoping this guy has a Tarkin presence to him, because we know that they took General Hux from this super serious character in episode 7. I mean, he did have comedic moments, but to a character that was more comedic relief in episode 8, kind of. So, obviously, these guys have a very Nazi-ish presence to them, and that's very characteristic of Star Wars movies. General Hux, I hope they take him more on a serious tone again. And this new actor, Richard E. Grant's General Pride, I'm hoping this guy has a menacing presence to him, similar to what we've seen from Tarkin, of course. C-3PO in the building, and I'm hoping C-3PO and R2-D2 play a bigger role in this movie than they have in the past, because you know what, as cool as BB-8 is and the Porgs and what have you, I want to see more of those original cast members that we love. C-3PO, R2-D2, classic, can't beat them. But I'm hoping we get to see more of them and play a bigger, more significant part in this movie. Let's go scroll down. More C-3PO right there, being polished. Looks like he doesn't have that red arm anymore, so we got that fixed. J.J. Abrams, I'm sure, is going to be making a ton of changes, but he is next to BB-8. Yeah, BB-8 right here too. So cool to see BB-8. I actually really like that character. Then we got a photo right here of Finn, looking like he's on some crazy looking horse with Naomi Ackie, which is playing Jana. I'm not sure how to say that name, but yeah, she got a bow and arrow, looking pretty cool. I'm hoping that the effects look good on screen, and I'm hoping that we don't get an extended chase scene, because I'm tired of seeing chase scenes. I think they just take some time. I want to see some character development, especially for my man Finn, because he kind of got shortchanged in episode 8 with that whole Canto Bight stuff and the love scene between him and man, I don't know why I'm blanking on her name right now. Rose. Yes, Rose. Because it didn't really work out for me. Not that I didn't like Rose so much, but the love scene kind of something I didn't really want to see, or it didn't work for me. Okay, next image, which is something I'm super interested in. So you got Kylo Ren and Rey battling it out with the lightsabers again, and they look like they're on some water, so probably they're on that old Death Star. It's teased that Kylo Ren had made some quotes that we're gonna see a little bit more of their connection, or kind of connection. So we don't know exactly what it's going to be. Obviously, I'm wondering if there's a lot of questions. Is Rey going to be the Skywalker? Is Kylo going to be the rise of Skywalker? Are we going to see a redemption arc for Kylo? Or are we going to see a rise of a new order that calls themselves the Skywalkers? So a lot of questions, but we do get to see Kylo and Rey battle it out again with lightsabers. And I'm sure the lightsabers are going to clash this time, guys. Not like in The Last Jedi, even though I was a fan of that scene because it was such a Jedi thing to do, what Luke did. But I'm only hoping that there is no pause like in episode 7 where Rey kind of closed her eyes for like half a minute and kind of remembered that she can use the Force. So that was kind of cheesy, and I'm hoping we don't get too much cheese in this movie. The battle scene was great outside of that little moment in episode 7. So I'm hoping we see more lightsaber action. I'm super excited for that. And then we get what looks to be a chase sequence here with Chewie, Rey. I'm sure it's going to harken back to the Return of the Jedi, the beginning of Return of the Jedi. I'm thinking this is going to be probably in the beginning of the movie. Not sure for what yet, though. Not sure for what. And we get this great shot here. We get to see Poe Dameron in there, and he's next to Lando and Chewie with BB-8 in there, and I think that new droid, I forgot what it's called, but cool looking shot of the Falcon. This looks to be the new crew of the Falcon, and Billy D. Williams, man, excited to see him back as Lando. And I heard someone on the internet talking about, hey, look, he's wearing, hopefully he gets to maybe talk to the Falcon. I wasn't a fan of that in Solo, how his droid lover became like the conscience of the Millennium Falcon. I was not a fan of that, but I'm wondering if they're going to pay it off. Really interesting. Let me know what you guys think about that, because that was really controversial for me, at least. Then we get some more alien-looking creatures, which look cool. I'm more alien. The more aliens, the better. I'm wondering if we're gonna get a cantina scene. Probably not, but the more aliens, the better in this universe. I love seeing the creatures of the Star Wars universe. And we got an image of John Williams composing for this movie, and we got Princess Leia, who's obviously going to be in this movie. Seen it in the trailers. They're piecing together old footage to give us a good send-off for Princess Leia. And who knows what her fate is going to be in this movie. She is a Skywalker. Is she going to interact with Kylo in some way? That would be something. But of course, John Williams, one of the guys I need to see perform, and I need to see him in concert before I die. Just have to. Seeing Hans Zimmer, I need to see John Williams. And then here is probably one of the coolest shots out of everything right here. Luke, and he looks very, very physical. Doesn't look like a Force Ghost look, and he's next to R2-D2. I'm wondering if it's gonna be another flashback, because we have seen flashbacks now in Star Wars. Didn't used to be a thing, but now is a thing. And maybe is Luke alive? You know, I thought it was pretty clear that he had passed into. I mean, no one really dies like he says in the movie, but I was assuming he became part of the Force. But maybe he's discovered some new sort of power that allows him to manifest his physical form. You know, who knows? Luke is super powerful. While I was okay with what they did with Luke in The Last Jedi, I know a lot of fans didn't like that, and that's cool. You know, that's cool. I'm not gonna sit here and say you can't have your own opinion. I was okay with it, but I understand why others weren't. But there we go. We get to see R2-D2 again. Speaking of R2-D2, you know, this character plays such a huge role in every movie previous. I'm hoping we get to see more R2-D2 in this movie, but you get to see a burning background here. So, you know, it might be a flashback, might not be. I'm wondering if we're going to see Luke interact with potentially Emperor Palpatine. Curious enough, there's no Emperor Palpatine photos in here. I'm sure it's a secret they're trying to keep. I'm wondering if we're going to get a reunion between Mark Hamill and Ian McDiarmid. That would be incredible. So there's my thoughts on these new photos. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Star Wars, this trilogy, the new photos. I want to start doing more Star Wars videos. Even if some of you guys maybe don't follow it, you know, maybe I'll get some new people to jump into the discussion with me, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I definitely want to talk about it. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you guys in the next video.